Hey guys, and welcome to your Chapter 11 stem and leaf plot notes. So this is another data display that we can use, just like the box and whisker plot that we just got done going over. So a stem and leaf plot is a special table where each data value is split into a stem and a leaf. Okay, so the leaf is usually the last digit, so the ones place for thinking about places in a number. Okay, so for example, 32 is split into 3 as the stem and 2 as the leaf. So I can see in this picture right here that my stem is a 3 and my leaf is a 2. Okay, also notice that with that 3 we had 30, so we had our stem as a 3 and our leaf was a 0. So each one of these numbers in this list here is represented in this table. So for 15, that would be our 1 and our 5. And then 16 would be the 1 and the 6. So just notice we're splitting the numbers based on their tens place right here. These are the tens places. And these are our ones places in this problem. Okay, so this would be number 15, this would represent 21, this bottom number would represent 41, and you can see where all of those are in the list. So let's go ahead and try and create a stem and leaf plot. So Sam got his friends to do a long jump and got these results. So notice that these do not have a tens place and a ones place, but they do have a ones place, and then that is the first number after the decimal. It's called the tenths place with a TH. Okay, so we're going to separate ours into the ones place and then the tenths place. Okay, that's going to be our stem and our leaf. So one of the important things that we have to do when we do these creations for stem and leaf plots is actually say what it means. So we're going to give an example here. It says stem of 2, leaf of 3 means 2.3. So we're going to start out, our stem is 2, our leaf is 3. That takes care of this first number. Then I'm going to go to the next one. So the next one says I have a stem of 2, so I don't need to write that again because I already have it down here. But my leaf is 5, so I'm going to add 5, and then I'm going to cross that one off. Okay, it is okay to repeat leaf values. So for the next one, since it is the same, it's 2.5, I'm going to add another 5 to my leaf value. And then 2.7, we're still in this first stem, so 2.7, I'm going to add a 7 to my stem, or my leaf value. And then I have 2.8, so I'm going to add an 8 to my leaf value. Okay, those were all with a stem of 2, so that's all that I had for that. Then it looks like my next number is 3.2, so I'm going to have a 3 as my stem, a 2 as my leaf. Then my next number is 3.6, so I'm going to say my stem is a 3, my leaf is a 6, so I add a 6 to the leaf side. And then remember, it's okay to repeat, so I'm still here, stem is a 3, leaf is a 6. And I'm going to cross it off, make sure I get them all. Then the next one, I have a new number as my stem, it's a 4, my leaf is a 5. Okay, and then again a new stem, so I have a 5 as my stem, and my leaf is a 0. Okay, it is okay to have a 0 as a leaf. That represents that placeholder right there, that 0. So this is what your stem and leaf plot would look like. Okay, all of those numbers in the table. Alright, let's try and create another stem and leaf plot. So again, this time I'm going to look and see what my numbers look like. So this time I don't have decimals. I actually have a tens place and a ones place. So I'm going to say over to the side, stem of 5, leaf of 0 means 50. Okay, that just gives anyone that's reading this later a representation of those numbers. So I have a stem of 5 and a leaf of 0. And I'm going to cross that off my list. I'm going to use the next number. It starts with a 5, has a leaf of 8, ends with an 8. Okay, cross that off my list. And then I'm moving on. So now I have a new stem. So right here I have a 6. I have a leaf of 4. Then I have a 6 to start with, so I'm back at that second stem. And I have an 8 for my leaf. Next number starts with a 7, so I'm moving on to the next stem, 7. My leaf is 0. Then I have a 74, so I'm starting with a 7. Put a 4 in for my leaf. Okay, and then my next number, again, starts with a 7, so I'm adding a 6 to my leaf. And then it looks like I'm moving into the 80s, so I'm going to start my next stem. I have a leaf of 2, and then another leaf of 2, and then another leaf of 2. Okay, remember it's okay to repeat those. Then I have a leaf of 6, a leaf of 6, and a leaf of 6. Okay, so that gets through all of the numbers that start with an 8. And then I have numbers left that start with a 9. So I have a 0 for 90, another 0 for 90, another 0 for 90. This is why it's a good reason to cross them off as you go, just in case you have repeats. Another 0, another 0, and then a 2 for 92, and a 4 for 94. So that is what our stem and leaf plot looks like for these math test scores. For our last example, we're going to look at a stem and leaf plot that has been already created. So it says, a zookeeper published the following stem and leaf plot showing the number of lizards at each major zoo in the country. So what I'm looking at first is that this stem, 1 and 2, are actually missing leaves, which means there's no numbers here. And I can say the same thing about this down here. Okay. I also want to look and see what my reference is. So the question at the bottom says, how many zoos have fewer than 26 lizards? So I know that these are my tens places and these are my ones places. So if I have 2 as a stem and 0 as a leaf, that means I have 20 lizards. Okay. So this one says, how many zoos have fewer than 26 lizards? So I'm looking at this row because that starts with a 2 right there, and I want fewer, so I want less than that, okay? So I know there's nothing up here, okay? That's not going to help us. But I do know that 26 is this number represented right here, 26, that's 6. Okay, so how many zoos have less than that? So I'm looking at anything to the left of that leaf, and it looks like I only have one option. There's one zoo that has 20 lizards. So one zoo, and that's because they only have 20 lizards. Okay, so one zoo only has 20 lizards. Hey, if you guys have any questions, make sure you are asking. Your assignment for stem and leaf plots is on EdSite. So when you log into Clever, make sure you go to EdSite and not Big Ideas. Ask questions if you have them, guys. Bye.